Today we're going to check out the Coralbox Wi-Fi dosing pump. Hey guys, Devin with ReefDudes. Now you guys asked for it, so here it is. In my last video on the Coralbox Cloud9 skimmer, there's a couple of people that were asking me to do a review on the Coralbox dosing pump. And since I was looking for a dosing pump anyways, I decided to go with this one and hopefully help you guys out. So let's do a kind of a first initial unboxing. I've had this for about a week now and I've been holding out to unbox it just so I can make a video for you guys, so hopefully you appreciate it. So far in the box, we got some dosing tube. We have a little test tube, which is probably for a graduated cylinder for testing the dose and calibrating it. We got our pump heads. So we got 4 pump heads, a little sticker showing which way it spins. We have a bunch of little check valves, our power supply, and the dosing unit itself. Get that out. Now this thing is actually really tiny, which is one of the really cool features of it. Even has a little template for the mounting holes. Now this is tiny, super tiny, and actually this is one of the things that I really like about it. I was going to replace my J-Bow pump, but I'm also doing the nano challenge, so it might go in the nano tank, but I'm super excited to check this out. So far on the side we got a power and we got a Wi-Fi reset, so if there's ever an issue connecting, you can just hit that reset button and it should fix things up. Now there's no other buttons on it. And why? Because this is a Wi-Fi dosing pump. So what that means is you're going to use cell phone apps, either iPhone or Android, to connect to it and set it up, dial it in, and tune it. So one cool thing is, if you test your tank and your calcium's a little low, your alkalinity, you can adjust it right from your cell phone. You can do a dose, you don't know when they're hitting buttons. Now one of the things with the J-Bow pump is it's always a bit of a pain to go from screen to screen and set up every single dose. So this should make it a lot easier using the phone app. Now I haven't even launched the app yet, so let's put on the pump heads, we'll get to it, and we'll get this thing tuned to the setup. Okay, so we get first pump head. So the pump heads just clip right on, which is kind of a good thing. If you ever have to replace one, it should be pretty easy. It lines up, clipped in. So the pump's assembled, so let's jump on the computer, download the app, and we'll check it out and figure out how to get this thing set up and going. Now they say the dosing pump has an accuracy of 0.1 milliliters, so that's pretty good for adding trace elements, so I'm really curious to test that out and see how accurate it actually is. So we'll see what else for new features. Mobile phone control, easier, more convenient, easier dosing anywhere, liquid shortage alarm. So the pump can calculate the remaining liquid. So I'm assuming how that's going to work is we'll tell it how much liquid's in the container and then it will know how much it takes out, so it'll kind of give you a warning when it suspects that you're just about out. We'll now have to connect to the Wi-Fi for the pump. So let's go to our settings. Now the default password is 123456778. Okay, so we got the app downloaded. We connect to the Wi-Fi, we'll launch the app, and now it finds the dosing pump. So we'll click on the pump, and here's our initial screen. If I go to manual, let's just say we want to dose 1 milliliter. Yep, so the pump goes on. Let's try 0.1 and see what it says. Begin. Yep, so perfect. Run continuously, sure. It's working, pump 2. Okay, now that wasn't spinning it properly, so that might mean the pump head's not properly aligned. So I'm just gonna pop that off and put it back on. Make sure that the metal rod is in the center. Okay, let's try that again. Pump 2. Pump 3. Pump 4. Alright, so everything's working, we're happy. Okay, next on the list, so set the parameters, so manual, set our daily dosing volumes. So now to do that, let's go back to our dosing pump. We're going to go to the auto tab and set daily dosing volume, so +1, so reservoir volume. So this should tell us how much is remaining. Timer. We go to advanced, alarm for insufficient liquid, turn to auto mode when you quit. Calibrate, so we'll want to go through and calibrate each pump. else we got? Join a home network. So this should make it easier so we don't have to join the pumps network. So let's type in my password. All right, so we manually got it going. We got water dripping out. I'm gonna turn this off. Now we're gonna go back to the plus and then calibrate. Now we're gonna say calibrate to 10 mils. So we got this prime full of water. It came with this little test tube with measurements on it. Now I'm gonna tell it to calibrate to, let's do 10 mils first. Say confirm. Now once this is done, we're gonna tell it how much the actual output was, and that's gonna help calibrate it. All right, so it says to calibrate 10 mils, and that's about 7.8, 7.9. So I'm gonna say it was about 7.8. Confirm. Save, confirm. All right, so I'm gonna dump it out and I'll do it again. Now I'll tell it to calibrate 10 mils again for a second time. And then we'll see if it actually hits 10 mils now. Oh, look at that. That was perfect. That was a great guess. There you go. That stopped at 10 mils, pretty much right on the dot. So I'm actually pretty impressed. That was probably one of the easier calibrations I've done. So I could open the Aqua Dosing app. Found my pump. Now I first open up, so it loaded all of my settings from the pump. So when it's going to dose, if you want to modify, there's manual. If you manually wanted to say dose 5 mils of alkalinity to your tank, hit that. It'll run for 5 mils. So if you test your tank, you got to make an adjustment, go boop, it's quickly done. It'll dose it for you. Set daily dosing, so that's our 10 mils per day. Enter your value. So 12. Okay, we'll dose 12 mils. And go back to auto. Now, if I click the plus sign, reservoir volume, if you're dosing from a bottle and you know it's say 500 mils, I can say, okay, we got 500 mils, confirm. Yes. I don't know if you need to, but I always just push that sync button afterwards. Now, if I go back in here and manually dose and say, okay, dose 10 mils, begin. Now, if we go back in, it just shows us how much we have left. So we'll let this finish. Okay, so we just dosed our 10 or 12 mils. Now I'll go back in here, reservoir volume. Now it's at 490. So if you're dosing out of a bottle or you have a set amount, every time you fill it, you can just make sure it's set and it'll kind of keep you alerted of how much is left. Now if we go into advanced, you can say alert when there's insufficient liquid. So when it's about to run out of space or it's just about used up, when that counters go down, it can send you a message and let you know. Turn into auto mode when you quit. I haven't tested that one out, but I'm assuming it just goes back into the default mode. You click and hold down on the name, you can bring it up. So I'm just going to call this alkalinity. So I'll say elk. And this one, click and hold, we'll call it calcium. CA for calcium. Now back in auto mode, so we got calc, so it tells us right there we have 490 left. So that's pretty cool. That's actually a pretty handy feature, so it's a good way of knowing when you're about to run out, because it does keep track of it. As long as everything is calibrated properly, you should be good to go. Now the next quick thing with this, so how much you want to dose per day. Now the important thing here, if we go into timer, this is the mode that you really want. Now alkalinity, in the first column, so it does change the name everywhere, which is quite handy. What time you want to dose, so 00 would be midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Now, so we got 5 different boxes ticked in 10 mils, so it should dose 2 mil at each one of those intervals. Now a couple other notes on that. So alkalinity usually dose at night, just for the pH boost. Calcium will dose in the daytime. Now if I go to minutes, this is at what time past the hour. This one is how many minutes past the hour. Frequency, I haven't really played with this too much, but from my understanding, 0 is daily, 1 would be every other day, etc. So I'm going to be dosing my regular elements, which I dose daily. So that's kind of a overview of how to use the app. The instructions were a little lacking. It took me a little poking around to kind of figure it out, so hopefully that gives you guys a quick understanding if you want to get this for yourself. Auto is pretty self-explanatory. Manual, say I want to dose 1 mil. Quick dose. So if I test my tank and I see that, oh, my alkalinity is a little off, I use the calculator, I need to dose 5 mils, you can quickly just come in here and say, okay, 5 mils, go. And you're done. So it's a kind of an easy way to make adjustments. Now the one other thing, there's this continuous running. I wouldn't use this for my trace elements, but maybe if you're using it for a little water change or something, it might be useful, but you can say continuous, okay, and the pump will run until you turn it off again. It's useful for testing the pumps, making sure everything's working, but I would just use, enter the value under the manual dose. Otherwise, click back to auto. I don't know if it's 100% required, but I like to hit that sync button when I'm finished, just to make sure everything's done and happy. So we'll exit out of that. And that's kind of the basics of how you set up and use the dosing pump. Now seeing the Coralbox dosing pump beside the J-Bell, you can see how much smaller and more compact this is. It's about half to a third of the size. I am going to mount it up there once I find a different magnet mount I can attach to, and you can see it's going to free up that whole chunk of space and make my stand look a lot cleaner, which is a huge plus. Now the other big thing for me is you can do down to 0.1 of a mil accuracy. I currently have the J-Bell dosing 1 mil every second day. Now I couldn't do the every second day within the pump, so I have the Apex turning it off for a day, on for a day. So it's a bit of a convoluted way to do it. Now this guy, since it does the 0.1 mil of accuracy, I can still to dose half a mil a day and I'll accomplish the same thing. My parameters should be more stable and hopefully my curls will be happier. So again, my only gripes, 1, I wish I had a longer power cord, and 2, the manual is a little lacking. So I had to do a bit of poking around in the app, but hopefully watching this video, you guys will know exactly where to get the app, how to use it. Same app for Apple and Android. Aside from that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you like this, hit that like button. And if you guys want to stay tuned, I will probably do more of a long-term review in a few months once I've been using it for a while. So make sure you guys subscribe and check that out. Now, if you guys want to pick one up, I've seen them for sale on Amazon and on Fish Street. So I'll put links in the comments below. If you guys have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys on the next update.